Hello, Professor and everyone. My name is FA2021 Minh, and today I'm gonna present about my final project. So now I'm gonna show you how to create your own browser using Python. So are you tired of using Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Mozilla Firefox? Here I have the solution for you. You can create your own browser just using around 40 simple code lines, and in this presentation we will dive into details. So before looking into the full code lines, we will have a look at the required modules that need to be imported. So first of all, we have to install PyQt5, and in particular we have to import Qt Core, Qt widgets, and also Qt Web Engine widgets. Other than that, we have to import sys. So here is the full code. Before actually writing the code, we need to install PyQt5 as I have already mentioned. So the way how to do it is that you get access to the terminal and paste this code line, pip install PyQt5, and hit enter. Then the system will automatically install PyQt5. After installation, we will actually look into the code. So the first 4 lines are for the importing. So we need to import sys and also import Qt Core, Qt widgets, and Qt Web Engine widgets from PyQt5. So the first thing we need to do is to create a class called main window using QMainWindow function. So we need to define init refer to the self class, and in here we use super method. Also, with our browser, we need to use QWeb Engine view, and we have to set an URL for the main window. So basically, normally if you use Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, if you just open a new tab, then there will be an automated URL assigned there, right? So in here, I set Google as my main Windows site, and the set central widget and also the show maximized function are used for the display of the site. So after we have the main window, we need to have the navigation bar. So normally with Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, we have a set of basic navigation buttons, which are back, forward, and reload. So in here, with each button, we will use a set of 3 functions. So first of all, we will use QAction. The name of the button will be back, and we need to refer to the self class. And in here, the second line will be used to define that if we hit on the back button, if it is triggered, the system need to connect the self class and make the browser go back. So after that, we need to add action to this button. Oh, that's why we have the third code. So the same set will be applied to forward and also reload button. In addition, we also need to have a home button, because for example, if you go to different size, for example like 15 size, and you just want to go all the way back to the home page, it is wasting time if you have to click on the back button like 13 times. So if we have home button, it's gonna be easier. So the home button, the name will be home, and the same thing we will do with the back and forward reload button. We set it, if it is triggered, the system needs to connect the self class and with the navigate home. And after that, we add action to the home button using the navigation bar. Refer to the navigation bar. So after we have back, forward, reload, and also home button, we need to have an URL bar where you will be able to manually input your go-to site URL. So in here, we use QLine edit method, and we also use return press and connect self class with the navigate to URL. After that, we will add the widget to navigation bar. And basically, if you with this browser, without this line code, if you switch between sites, the URL in the URL bar will not be changed. For example, if you go to Google, then search for a video on YouTube and then click on that video on YouTube, in the URL bar, the URL's name is still Google. It's not going to change. So what we have to do here is to write this code line. This could help us to update the URL according to the current site. And if you notice, we haven't defined navigate home, navigate to URL, and also update URL. That's why we have to define them here. And after all of these codes, we need to have to use queue application using sys method, and also we have to set a name for our browser, our application. And last but not least, we need to have this very important line code to execute the application. So after these code lines, let's see whether it's gonna work. So in here, I already have all the code lines and I'm gonna run it right now. So first of all, I'm gonna stop the current running and rerun it. So here you can see that my browser opened, and in here we have back, forward, reload, and home buttons. So if you manually input here, for example, I want to go to YouTube, I press enter and YouTube will show up. For example, I will press on this video, we can watch it. And if you want to go back, you can press on back or forward or reload. And you can even go all the way back to our home page, which is Google. So this is my presentation. That is the end, and I hope that you can follow the instructions and create your own browser. Thank you so much for listening.